What is going on, everybody? RJD here. Welcome to Rashonology. This is going to be a quick one. I'm not even going to lie to you. We have Pastor Marvin Sapp. He is out here asking for tithes and offerings to the church, but he told the ushers to close the door, which is very unorthodox and kind of weird. And a lot of people are talking about it. We don't know when this came out. We don't know when this sermon happened. We don't know anything, or I don't know. All I know is this is going viral, and I want to talk about it because it speaks to why a lot of people are leaving the church, why a lot of people, especially men, have left the church, why a lot of people just they don't mess around with this anymore. They're like, you know what, I believe in God or I believe in whatever I believe in, but there are people here to take advantage. Now, I don't know if this guy takes advantage or not. At the end of the day, churches do cost money to upkeep. You do have to upkeep the church. You do have to renovate the church every so often, especially those older churches. And now we've seen all of these mega churches and these pastors, they flaunting, they go on private jets and they on all of that. And I do think a preacher or a preacher should be compensated. Like he's still providing a service and he's still delivering the word, so he should be compensated. He shouldn't be out here broke. I mean, that's ridiculous. If you're providing a service or you're running a church and you're the head pastor, head preacher, whatever you are, you should definitely be compensated. How you are compensated, I don't know. That's above my pay grade. I don't know what's right and what's wrong. I don't know how these things break down. But what I do know is, yes, you should be compensated for what you do. Why should anybody do anything for free? In what word does it say you should do things for free? And you shouldn't be at least compensated for the hard work you put in. So if you are really for your congregation, or you are really for whatever you believe, and you are really for your people, yes, you should be compensated. So I don't believe when people say, "Oh, these people they should do it for free." I don't believe that. That's crazy.
No, stop it.
That's crazy.
Get some help.
You don't go do your job for free. That job you go to, even if you work at McDonald's or if you work at Google or if you work at Amazon or if you work at Nvidia, you don't work for free. You get compensated for your work. Nobody works for free. So why do you think a pastor should work for free? So I don't believe in that crap. But then it becomes, if the pastor got a private jet, but the church looks crazy, like, then it's like, what are we talking about here? Like, what are we doing? So that's crazy.
Nope.
So there's a fine line. There is a happy medium somewhere, but this is kind of weird to me. This is kind of weird. So let's see what we got going on here. As you know, here at Rashonology, we have a video. We look at the video and we talk about the video. So let's talk about it. Let's see what we got going over here with Pastor Marvin Sapp.
There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. It's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. Now, everyone up here, we've all sowed and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again,
Stop it. Get some help.
it costs to sit up here. And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, or even if you're giving tangibly, I'm going to have y'all come to the altar and give it, because I need to see 1,000 people moving.
So you told everybody to close the doors. You told the ushers to close the doors. Close the doors. Close them. So you didn't allow people to leave if they wanted to leave. We got something for that. That's called holding somebody against their will. That's called kidnapping. There's a place that the government and the police, there's a place that they will put you. They will put you in this place if you kidnap somebody or hold them against their will, hold them hostage. So that's an L. It's an L. It's a nice Rolex you got on. It's a nice Rolex. It's a nice Rolex you got on. Now, like I said, I'm not against pastors getting compensated for whatever they are whatever they're delivering, because at the end of the day, I do believe they should be compensated. But there's a nice Rolex you got on, and them things ain't cheap. So unless you just balling with zero in your bank account, then you got a couple of dollars. So you gotta take that into consideration. And you asking people to give and to tithe. But at the end of the day, it's not I need you to give $100. It's you give what you can give. I don't see anywhere in the word where it says you have to give a set amount. I see 10%. That's what I heard. When I used to go to church when I was a kid and I heard things, I heard you tithe 10%. 10% to the Lord. I'm no Bible aficionado, but I'm pretty sure it's 10%. You tithe 10%. That's 10% of what you got. This guy could have 20 million in the bank. Another guy could have 20,000 in the bank. It's not the same 10%. So how are you asking people to give a set amount? They're supposed to give what they can give. On top of the fact of close the doors. So if somebody tried to leave, what? The big usher was going to be like, no, you can't leave. Go tithe before you can leave. Oh, and you got to come up because I got to see you put it in. I got to see you put this in here because if I don't see it, it didn't happen. You got to come up here.
Stop it. Get some help.
Yikes.
Bring them baskets. I want the baskets up here. I want to see the folks.
I want the baskets up here. So
Y'all
you gotta come to me and put it in the basket so I can see it. Yikes.
You stupid.
Y'all can bring it right now. Come. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people online need to give $20. This is easy, saints.
How do you know it's easy?
And they understand.
How do you know people aren't going through stuff? How do you know people aren't going through stuff? They go to church to get the word and they are held allegedly. They can't leave because you told the ushers to close the doors. They went to get the word. They may only be able to tithe $1. But you saying, nah, you got to give, we need 1,000 people to give $20. What if they don't got $20? You got all these people in the church. Listen, just in the law of numbers, there's going to be people who have more than others. Some people are going to be on the extreme low end. Most people are in the middle. Some people are going to be on the extreme high end. So those people on the low end, what if they don't got $20 to give? What if they spent their last $20 on rent to make sure they had somewhere to live? They got to give $20? We need 1,000 people to give $20? This is a small donation? It's small to you. It's small to you. It may not be small to some of your people in your congregation. And this is where this is rough, man. This is where it's like it gets crazy. This is where it gets crazy. It's called offering, not a ransom. That's what I'm saying. People got to pay to leave. This is nuts. This is nuts. Close the doors. Ain't no way they would have closed me in there. This chick is like, I'm out. Marvin said it needs to be Marvin slapped. That's funny. Marvin Sapp turned into Suge Knight. The comments are nuts. I would have called 911 immediately. Damn, can't even afford to go to church anymore. This is not a church. Yeah, this is disappointing. I have lost all respect for him. He is the exact reason I do not go to church anymore. Shame on you, Marvin Sapp. Why does it cost to sit among the ministers? Yeah, because there was another video. He said it costs to sit up here. Cost what? $100, $200, $1,000, $2,000? It's a subscription-based service. So to sit up there with the ministers it's a subscription-based business model. So you got to provide $200 a month, and then you can sit up here with the ministers. Yeah, this is getting sticky when you start talking about, it costs. Costs what? Close the doors so I can't leave. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who put this out and why they put this out, but they ain't put this out for him to be looked at in a positive light. This is wild. This is wild to me. This is not something I heard somebody say a very long time ago, this is why they don't go to church, because they went to a church, they stumbled upon the back room, they were looking for the bathroom, they made a left instead of making a right, and they were young at the time, and they were a teenager, and they walked into this room, and they had the people counting the money, which is okay. I mean, you got to count the money, and the pastor was like, "Nah, get that out of here. Only the big bills. Only the big bills. Only count. Put the big bills over here. I want only the big bills." This is what this person told to me. This is what they told me. I only want the big bills. So how does that look? I only want the big bills. Put the other bills over here. He said he has not. He said, I ain't stepped in the church since then. This is why I don't go to church. Since that day, he said, nope. So you have to be cognizant of how things look, because this looks crazy. Oh my God. This looks nuts. And this is why people have left the church, for this specific reason, because you have things like this going on, and it's like, yo, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? This is not what I signed up for. I didn't sign up for this. So I'm struggling with this, man. I'm struggling with this because this is not, listen, we have a bunch of different people in the United States that believe a bunch of different things, and everybody believes what you believe. That's the beauty about being in America. You can believe what you believe, and people are going to leave you alone. But when it comes to people of certain faith, certain people they crack jokes on, certain people you could talk about in the media and the music and everything else, and certain people you can't. I heard this once. It was like, you want to know who's in control? Look at the people that you cannot criticize. And those are the people who have all the power and control. And I thought about it. I was like, wow, I never thought about it like that. It's kind of crazy. And when it comes to certain people and certain faiths and certain backgrounds, you can't play with them like this. You can't play with them. Like, when I see this, it's like, this is why people play around with Christians and Christianity and stuff like that. People play around. People play in Christians' faces because of stuff like this. Because it's like, how do you justify this? Close the doors. Now, did he say you can't leave? No, he didn't say that. So we're not going to put words in his mouth. But he did say close the doors. And it's like, wow, what do you mean close the door? Now, I understand we need upkeep. We need to tithe so that we can keep the church up and running. There's operational costs. I get all of that. I understand pastors should be compensated. I get all of that. And I wonder how pastors get paid. That's another thing. How do they get paid? How do pastors get paid? It's very interesting. Maybe I got to ask ChatGPT how pastors traditionally get paid. But I understand all that. But at the end of the day, this is not okay. You close the doors. Close the doors. And then they wonder why men are like, man, F the church. I'm not going. They wonder why men are leaving the churches in droves. Because it's like, what? I can close the doors. Are we trapped in here? Are we stuck in here? This is crazy. This is nuts. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. I guess we'll continue to monitor the situation, follow up with it at a later time. And if something happens with this, we'll continue to bring it up. Maybe he will make a statement about what he meant by close the doors. And then we'll get an explanation as to why this happened. But it's just not a good look, man. Not a good look all around. Not at all.
Nope.
So all I got for y'all. I'm